and John Got It Going On, a Livingston County-based podcast that's based in, well, Livingston County. And now, Mike and John.
Is that like a workout machine?
Listen.
Yeah. Is this a Country Time Lemonade commercial? Well, you know, sitting here on the porch.
Oh, yeah. This is how I sound when I get up in the morning. But good news, John.
Yeah.
Good news.
Oh, wait, what?
I got the WD40.
Okay. For the squeaky chair.
For the squeaky chair, because
right.
I got the old chair.
Right. By the way, this is Mike and John Got It Going On, brought to you by Firehouse Doors.
Yeah. Now, where do you think the squeak is?
I don't know.
We'll do a little there.
All right.
See if there.
Mike is now spraying the chair with the WD-40 that he brought.
Yeah, there we go.
I told you I had WD-40, but no, that's not it. Nope.
It smells like WD-40.
It does smell.
Like I'm inhaling WD-40.
It's,
you think it's in the back? Here, hit me in the back.
Well, I don't want to get your jacket.
Oh, yeah, don't get my jacket.
Yeah, so
that's
move
like
that.
the
Move that.
WD-40.
All right, hold on.
All right, let's get the show on the road. We got stuff to do. All right, let's see. I think it's back here. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Here, get up out of the chair. Get up out of the chair. All right, hold on.
All right, I'll hold the chair that way.
All right, it's maybe there. Maybe it's there. Maybe it's there.
I already hit those spots. But
maybe it's here.
I don't know.
I think I sprayed your shoes.
That's all right. Just slide across the floor. Like Tom Cruise in Risky Business.
Try now.
All right.
Try.
No. I guess we got to get a new chair.
Okay.
We'll work on
Look,
that.
we got stuff to do.
Yeah,
we don't have time for this nonsense.
All right, here's what's coming up today on Mike and John Got It Going On. We asked a trivia question on our Facebook page. 20% of women saying the best compliment they can receive is about this. We're going to find out what the answer is and look at some of your answers to see if you got it right.
Some interesting answers. We'll also catch up with Rich Perlberg, and
the less you know.
We'll know less, you'll know less, everyone will know less.
That's what it's all about, knowing less. And
you have to know
we know
less.
people that know less.
Yeah.
My brother-in-law, Scott, is celebrating a birthday today. My mom submitted it on our Mike and John podcast page, our web page, where you can submit birthdays to us. So,
did they?
Happy birthday to Scott.
I'll have to check that.
Scott Bowser. The Bowser. Bowser.
There it is, yeah.
See? That's from my mom, right? I think so.
Now, wait a minute. This says, be careful with this message.
Uh-oh.
This may be a spoofed message. It claims to have been sent from your account, but Gmail couldn't verify the actual source. All right, I got settings.
I think that's from my mom. So
yeah, okay. We'll trust your mom.
Be safe.
We'll trust Mike's mom.
She's a hacker.
Yeah, okay.
My mom.
Okay. All right, so, happy birthday to Scott.
All right, so if you have a birthday to submit, you can do that, and we'll get it here on the podcast. But before we get things rolling, we have Gigo News, brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers.
All right, here's what's going on. 2 Livingston County bridges are being funded for complete replacement in the next 2 years. Phase 2 of the Michigan Department of Transportation's Bridge Bundling Program will get underway later this year, targeting 59 candidate bridges. They were prioritized based on regional mobility and safety. Among them is the Bowdish Road Bridge over Portage Creek in Unadilla Township and the McCabe Road Bridge over the Huron River in Green Oak Township. In February, the initial phase of the program included reconstruction of the Mason Road Bridge over the Shiawassee River in Howell Township and the Iosco Road Bridge over the Red Cedar River Drain. Both of those projects will get underway in May. They're expected to take 60 days to complete. This latest phase, though, focuses on closed and load-posted bridges. Some will be permanently removed. Others will be fully replaced. The Bowdish Road Bridge in Unadilla Township will be replaced in 2023 at a cost of $1.7 million. The McCabe Road Bridge in Green Oak Township, that's slated for replacement in 2024 at a cost of $4.1 million. Both are currently closed to traffic. There are some personnel changes at the Michigan State Police Brighton Post. The post has a new post commander, First Lieutenant Mike Sura, who was promoted March 6th to the position. Sura was the assistant post commander at the Brighton Post. He has more than 21 years of service with state police. He replaces First Lieutenant Joel Allen. He retired as the post commander in December after 31 years of service. Also, Kathy Jahota, the administrative assistant at the Brighton Post, retired March 31st after 27 years of service with Michigan State Police. And a local high school served as the stage for a military send-off this past weekend. On Saturday, Governor Gretchen Whitmer, who serves as the commander-in-chief of the Michigan National Guard, addressed soldiers from the Michigan Army National Guard's 156th Expeditionary Signal Battalion at Howell High School. In 2 separate departure ceremonies, about 350 soldiers gathered with their families and invited guests at the Battle Creek Air National Guard Base and Howell High School as they prepare to depart for their deployment to the Middle East. This will be the first deployment for the 156th, which was established 6 years ago. Known by their slogan, "Nothing but net," the soldiers are anticipated to be deployed for up to a year. And that's what's going on.
And of course, news brought to you by Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, Brighton's preeminent jewelry store. Preeminent.
They are
Nice.
preeminent. They're
Nice.
not just eminent. They're preeminent.
They were before eminent. And you know who eminent is.
They eminent copied off Cooper and Binkley. Because they said they looked at Cooper and Binkley Jewelers and they said, "Wow, look at that. We better be that." So they were
And
the
they
preeminent, and then eminent came along.
Commitment to customer service, community involvement, honesty, professionalism, and exquisite merchandise.
Right. And Mark and Barb Binkley, I mean, look, we said this yesterday. If you've ever gone in and talked to the staff there or to Mark or Barb, really no one knows more about jewelry, the entire industry, the process. They know it from, from the beginning to the end of the process. They understand the whole thing, and you can get your own creative designs. They've got great designers like Simon G. or Zagani, just to name a couple of them.
The G you say so hard.
Well,
It's
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
Downtown Brighton, Main Street, the place to go. Your first and last stop for the perfect gift. One-of-a-kind keepsakes. And don't forget, Mom's Day is coming up in May. Just an idea. May, I think it's the first Sunday in May. CooperandBinkleyJewelers.com. Or stop by and say hi. Tell them Mike and John sent you. They'll still let you in the door.
That's true. They're very kind. So, Cooper and Binkley Jewelers, an unparalleled, exceptional jewelry experience.
All right, if you're going to opening day tomorrow, it's not supposed to be very good weather-wise.
Well, because it's opening day, isn't it? It's very rare that there's good. Yeah.
But it's time for The More You Know, or The Less You Know, actually, with Rich Perlberg here on Mike and John Got It Going On. And I think we may be talking baseball with Rich. Remember when you were going to be a ball player and you weren't?
Good morning, guys.
Good morning, Rich. How's it going?
It's going great. It's baseball season.
Yeah.
Yeah, well.
Looking at the forecast for opening day tomorrow, for those that have tickets to the game, good for you.
Yes, exactly. I saw it's April, early April in Detroit. Who could have seen this coming?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, it wouldn't be opening day if you weren't having to freeze. I mean, the thing about opening day in Detroit, as opposed to, say, opening day in, like, Los Angeles or opening day in Miami, is it's most like a football tailgate, because you can...
A late season tailgate.
Yeah, exactly. You can barbecue. You're going to see, people bundled up.
Detroit's pretty unusual on opening day. It's like a holiday.
It kind of is,
cool day,
and the funny thing is, I'm thinking back of all the opening days that I've been a part of, or just may not have gone to the game, but maybe wished I was there. And there's maybe a handful over the past 40 years where the weather has been somewhat nice, like some sunshine and maybe 50, 55. Not a whole lot.
I've got an image. It had to be within the last couple, 3 years, of Cabrera hitting a home run
In the snow.
in the snow. He couldn't even tell it was a homer. He was hustling in the second because he didn't know he couldn't see the ball reach the stands.
So
That's all you need to know about Detroit opening day.
So how many have you gone to?
I was trying to think about that when I was a much younger man. I had some friends out at Northville, and we made a regular basis. So we probably went to about 6 or 7 years. We went every year, and it was usually cold, and it goes back as far as when they played them in Tiger Stadium, and that stadium was even colder. It was all concrete, and it just felt cold. But I've only gone to one in the last, 10, 15 years. And it was a pretty decent day. And I got to take my son to it. And then my other son came down with some friends. They didn't have tickets, but they just came down for the festivities across the street before the game started.
Right. I was going to say.
Very celebratory mood.
There's a lot of people that go and take part in opening day, but they never have tickets. They don't actually go into the ballpark. It's, they hit the bars or the restaurants that are right around Comerica.
Which is quite a happening spot, and I know it has. It's not supposed to have a whole lot to do with it. Opening day, hope springs eternal. But for many years, especially when the Tigers started on the road, by the time they got to opening day, they were pretty much out of the race.
Well,
Especially the Trammell years.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Well,
They'd go on the road and they'd lose 6 out of 7, and they came into Detroit 5 games out of first on opening day.
Yeah,
when we say the Trammell years, you mean Trammell as manager
Right,
years, not Trammell as a player.
Exactly.
Those are the years
Exactly.
that I hark back to. Well, I remember when the Tigers won their first 35 out of 40 games.
Oh, that was pretty remarkable. I could do that. I could go back to '68. I was going to college then, and I skipped my first class to watch Game 7 of the World Series.
Yeah. You're listening to three old men hark back to their golden
Which
days.
is the demographics for baseball.
Well, that's what I was going to say. In '84, I was just a couple of years out of college, and that was just awesome. Or I was still in college in '84. So, but '68, yeah, that had to be phenomenal too, and different times, obviously, for the city.
Totally different. And back then, you didn't have divisions, so you won it all or you went home. You won the American League, and then you went straight to the World Series.
Right.
And that team, I mean, this is old guys talking, but that team was very special in a different era because the players were pretty much all homegrown. I mean,
Right,
a lot of them came from Michigan, Willie Horton, Bill Freehan, and other ones started their careers in Detroit and pretty much spent their whole time there. I mean, this is before free agency and where guys could actually get paid for what they were worth, but those guys were heart and soul of Detroit.
I remember we interviewed a guy that I forgot the gentleman's name, but he wrote a biography of Al Kaline. And we were talking about that very thing, how Al Kaline, you just don't see that anymore. You're never going to see that again. Somebody who comes up through an organization, through the minor leagues, gets to the majors, stays there for his entire career, then retires, becomes a broadcaster, works in the front office.
No, that ain't happening anymore.
What part of it was is because they weren't allowed to move.
There's that.
The contracts, you played for that team, whatever they offered you, or you played for nobody. So
Yeah.
part of it's because the players, it's hard to think of them as being victims of the labor market because they made decent money, but not great money. But part of it was because they couldn't get paid. And look what's going on now. I mean,
I think the Fat Boy makes more than we.
about $40 million a year.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just hard to believe.
Well, we had, you go back to the '68 thing, and a few years back, we had interviewed Willie Horton. He was going to be at an expo in Brighton at Brighton High School, and we had him on the show, and then we went and met him later on. Him and was it Bill Freehan?
It was Bill Freehan, yeah.
And somebody else, I can't remember who it was, but Willie Horton was darn near in tears just talking about his time with the Tigers and how dedicated he was to the team, and you just really don't see that anymore. With the free agency, as you said, but real
you
heartwarming.
look at Horton's story. I mean, he grew up in Detroit. I forget which high school he went to, but he was known in the Detroit high school playoffs. He hit a home run in Tiger Stadium as a high school player. And the image that a lot of people have of Willie Horton was during the '67 riots.
Yeah.
He left the stadium in his uniform to go out and try and calm people down. I mean, Willie Horton's.
Well, that's what makes that '68. That's the other part of that '68 team that makes that so special was that it followed the '67 riot and that team did so much to try and kind of bring people back together, find some common ground. Although obviously the riots there represented much deeper divisions, but it was still something that people could cling to and be something proud of.
There's just something about that game of baseball. I mean, people love baseball. It's slow moving now. It's I'm only half kidding about saying that we're the demographics. I think they've got a real challenge to keep the game interesting to young people. The games take so long now, 3.5 hours or more.
Well, I mean that's a good point. I mean, and look, I remember back when the '94 strike. I want to say it was the '94, maybe it was '93. Whenever they went on strike, and everyone at the time, and I think the season got canceled, if I'm not mistaken. It was shortened.
It got canceled or shortened.
Yeah, and it was like one of those asterisk years. Whoever won, like, whatever.
Yeah.
But I remember at the time that said, "Oh, baseball's over." People were like, "I'm never And I may or may not have been one of them who was like, I'm never watching another baseball game again.
Can't remember. By the way, I have tickets to opening day.
Yeah. And yet, and it's happened time again since then where people just like, that's it, I'm done with baseball. And yet, I don't know, baseball's resiliency. I hear what you're saying. Like it has the pace of it does not match what seems to be our current society, or social media driven society of 30-second attention span.
No, but when you have boys, like my two sons both played Little League and travel ball and stuff like that, you really do see how big baseball still is.
Sure,
it's just the pro level,
still.
But yeah, I mean, it's,
I mean, it has gotten slower. I just saw a piece by George Will, of all people, who talks. You remember you guys won the 1960 World Series. Bill Mazeroski hits this iconic home run in the bottom of the ninth.
Yeah, there's a great picture of that ball going out of the park.
Yeah. And he's wearing that old. And usually the picture's in black and white, and he's wearing those old uniforms with the black sleeves and the gray vest and all that. And it's just that game was 10-9. And it took 2.5 hours. Last year, the shortest game in the World Series was well over 3 hours.
Well, you bring up a great point where I think, again, because it's so media-driven, so money-saturated, not that it wasn't always about money, but, for instance, the fact that you don't see any playoff or postseason games at all that aren't at night, that don't go late. I mean, there used to be afternoon postseason games. There used to be afternoon World Series games.
Yeah, I remember.
So
that Mazeroski home run, I missed it because I couldn't get home from elementary school.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing. I remember in the 70s running home from elementary school to see the Orioles and the Tigers play or whatever.
Right.
It was one of those things where it was like you got to get home to see the game.
Right, and now, because everything, they want to put it in prime time so they can charge prime time advertising rates, but the games go way past 11. So for smaller kids, I mean, and for older folks, I got to get to bed.
No, and there's so many. I mean, the World Series was 7 games, and now you've expanded the wild card team, so you've got there's the first round of the playoffs, the second round of the playoffs, the championships, and the World Series. That's a lot. But they're still selling media time, so it's working for them.
Right, and that's I guess that's what I was kind of touching upon, was that they've traded one thing for the other, but I wonder about the long-term trend to what you were touching upon about a younger generation.
They predicted that a lot. I mean, I can remember 20 years ago saying, these night games are going to have no fans because the kids can't watch them. Well, they're still watching.
Right, I guess that's true. Yeah, just kids stay up late now. They'd stay up anyway watching TikTok, so why wouldn't they watch the baseball? So what's the point?
Did you guys ever watch the streaming series Brockmire?
Yeah, Brockmire. I love, and Tim Robinson. Tim Robinson was the guy that turned me onto Brockmire.
Okay.
And
it's funny, and they deal with the problems of baseball and
right.
how they losing the younger market. And I don't know if that's true or not. I mean, there's still, even when the Tigers weren't playing very well, which is more years than I'd like to remember, you go to the ballpark. It's sunny. You get your hot dog. You get your beer. You watch them throw the ball around and all the traditions. Even the grounds crew wetting down the infield in the middle of the game.
Yeah, seventh inning.
It's a great place to be.
Yeah. It is that little escape. For even if it's just for a couple hours, and maybe you want a couple hours away from everyday life. So. I don't think it's going to go anywhere.
Remiss about it is how expensive it's gotten. I mean, this will again show my age, but I can remember at a moment's notice,
right,
beating up a couple friends, running down there, buying a couple of cheap tickets for the bleachers,
right,
and having a dog and a beer, and I wasn't making much money then, and I could afford it. I don't think those options are.
No, if you try to take your family to a game now, and even if you get upper deck, even if you get upper deck, not great seats, you're not, and you're in several $100s at least. And
let's get down to the brass tacks. What's a beer cost?
Right. Well, I remember the first time I saw that they were charging $20 for parking, and that's 20-some years ago, by the way. I remember I almost had a heart attack. Like, $20? Now I'm like, if I see $20, I'll only 20 here.
Take Venmo.
So
it is insane.
Yeah,
it really is.
That's.
So what do you guys think? The Detroit. I can't believe the Detroit media. They're all hyped on the Tigers. They think this is going to be a great year for them.
I haven't followed it enough. honestly, some of the trades that they've made, the last minute trade for Meadows, that may pay off for them, but. It's not like the old days where you could name the infield and who's catching and the outfielders you knew. I mean, they come and go so quick these days, and maybe that's how it always was. But you always knew you had Trammell and Whitaker,
Right.
Norm Cash playing first base. And
Well, I just saw something the other day about some player. Yeah, Joe, the old walking foot. Yes,
stop everybody.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Mark Vern Rule. But yeah, I saw something. I can't remember the player's name. I know exactly. That's what I'm saying. And they said, oh, somebody's so and so got traded from some team to the other, and it didn't involve the Tigers. And I thought, oh, I thought he was still on the Tigers. I'm like, oh, and it's like, oh, he has been on the Tigers for 3 years.
I look at like ESPN to see who they were picking different stuff, and they were talking about these great players who are likely to be in a running for most valuable player, and I didn't know over half of them.
Right.
So,
Wow.
but I think that's a question of age. When I was a kid, I knew every player.
Yeah.
Well, exactly. And that's,
kind of word.
it's the same thing with the music charts now. All right. If you watch the Grammys and you're like, I don't know what, never mind.
Oh, it's the weekend? No, it's only Tuesday.
What is happening here?
The problem is the Tigers is they're counting on a lot of young players and they're already getting injuries. So
Yeah.
but they are in a week division. So
Well, we got that going for us.
Yeah, and you know what? We know Aurelio Rodriguez isn't going to come and strike out with bases loaded, so we got that going for us.
Toby not going to really.
He could play third base
Oh,
like
my
nobody
God,
else, but
that's-
when he came up to the
Talking
plate,
about names is I hope he got an old audience because nobody knows what we're talking about.
Well, we do now. Anyone under 50 tuned out a long time ago.
oh, they're talking baseball.
Rodriguez, for your guys, listeners on that, he was an incredible fielder.
Oh, my God.
Third baseman who had an arm like a rocket.
Yeah,
I mean, somebody hit a shot down to him, he'd grab it, and then he'd look at the ball a little bit to read the
Right.
Yeah,
trademark, and then he'd say, okay, I'll throw the first.
No, I'll throw him out.
exactly.
But you know what? But with sabermetrics now dominating baseball, you don't
Go there.
yeah, well, but it's true though. You don't see as many of those the players that were just average batters at best, but just awesome fielders that just had that excellent defensive skills. Because now you kind of have to have a little bit of both.
No, not even. I mean,
know.
what they do is they move them around based on where people hit.
Yeah.
So all I got to do is be able to hit a ball, catch a ball, hit right at them. So the strategy on that is to try to hit it over their heads. Home runs. There's either home runs or strikeouts.
Right. I guess I'm basing it on my Little League experience, whereas I just tried to hit the ball anywhere. That was a win
Make
for
contact
me.
with,
I fouled it off.
Contact is I coached a couple little league teams.
Just make contact.
Right.
Hit the ball.
I'd foul it off and then take the bases like I just hit home and then be like, no, it went back to the backstop, idiot.
That one's in the parking lot next to your mom's car.
Right.
Okay, I will give you the final old man's lamp.
All right.
Though. You're talking about baseball. Did you ever see kids playing ball when it's not organized like Little League?
Not like we used to. It was like
All we did, we got up in the morning, went to the local
Right.
sandlot field, and whoever showed up, we put together a game.
yeah. You got your glove on the end of your bat, and it's on your bike, and you're riding
Well,
your glove on your handlebars, and you're going to the field.
Right, and we would do that, but we would also put together highlight reels. All right, now, I'm going to be Bark the Bird. Okay, now I'm going to strike you out, or no, I'm going to hit a home run, and you're like, okay. And then we would
The
reenact
scenario.
it.
Okay.
Like, wow, okay.
We used to play games in our front yards,
Yeah.
wiffle balls and stuff like that, and we had ghost runners, pitcher's hand out.
Yeah.
I mean, we could do all those things, but we would play. One team got to be the Tigers, the other team had to pick another American League team. And we knew the lineups for both teams.
Right.
Sure.
And we knew if they hit right-handed or left-handed. So it was your turn to bat. You had to bat either right or left-handed based on what player you were representing. I mean, we knew all those guys.
Yeah, those were good times in black and white.
Well,
And yes, very much black and white. 8
Yes.
teams. And,
the games were interrupted occasionally by the dinosaurs that would roam through, but
Yes. Now time for lunch. We're gonna have to take a break. So yeah, now you'd have kids out there in the field with their cell phones. Up, that ball just went by you. Well, I was in the middle of a game on my phone.
I mean, it's every era is different, but they talk about attendance not being up and viewership not being up, but they got 30 teams now, and they've got, like I said, they've got all these. The playoffs are much longer, so they're actually getting more play dates, more selling, more advertising, and they're getting more viewership. I think the game is probably going to have to figure out a way to not stretch into 4-hour games.
Right.
But
Well,
other than that,
I don't care what anyone
I'm
says.
not worried about the cost. It's just who's going to be able to afford to, like I say, take a family to a game when it's going to set you back $400. You know?
Right.
That right.
Well, it doesn't matter. Our era was the best. Doesn't matter what that era was.
That's right.
It was always better when I was younger.
When I was a kid. Yeah.
Period.
Well, Rich, why don't we get a prediction? How do you think the Tigers are going to do for this season, for the 2022 season?
I'm saying they'll I hope they'll do. The young guys will do well. I think they'll struggle more because they outperformed their skills last year. They're already getting some bad luck on injuries, so I'll think if they finish over 500 and finish third place in their division, I think that'll be a good year.
That'll be a good year.
I was going to say 85 wins. I'm seeing with 85 wins. I'll be generous.
You're going to 85.
I'm going to give them 85, but just over 500.
They've already lost Riley Green for 2 months, and
All right, 81 wins.
You're expecting three young pitchers to all have great years.
All right, 78 wins. 78 wins.
So we're bidding down now.
It's a range between 70 and.
You'd be excited about.
You know what? Other teams can get injuries too. Let's look at that factor. We'll hope for other teams to get injuries too.
No, I mean that's it. But there's the other side of that story. Because you follow your own local team and see all the good stuff. The other teams have things going for them too.
Yeah,
I mean,
right.
You're just not aware of it. But here's one. This is a negative plus. The Tigers don't have to play as many games against the East as the East teams do. So they don't have to play the Yankees and the Red Sox and the Rays and the Blue Jays that often. So and they get to play the Royals and the Twins and the Guardians.
Who are the Guardians?
Yeah,
they changed their name.
Can you believe that?
Oh yeah, the Cleveland Guardians.
Oh,
they changed.
right,
it.
right. Well,
all right, the Guardians. I forgot about that.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
you know.
I know. Anyway, I think if they finish over 500, it'll be a good season.
All
Okay.
right, Rich. We'll do it again next week. The less you know, and we know less.
And we know
now,
much
that's
less
for sure.
now. Thank you. Job fulfilled.
Go Tigers.
All right, Rich. Thanks for checking in this morning. Rich Perlberg here at Mike and John Got It Going On. Of course, brought to you by Firehouse Doors.
They've been in Livingston County for 24 years, a family-owned business. They strive to treat each customer like family. And they're veteran-owned. Mike, a proud U.S. Air Force veteran. They're your one-stop shop for residential, commercial, and rolling steel overhead door needs. And for the past 21 years, they have been Livingston County's only authorized distributor for CHI overhead doors. And as we've been telling you, each week we're going to be giving away a preventative maintenance inspection for your garage door and opener, including a 12-point inspection for up to 2 your garage doors and openers. And we're going to do that drawing
Right now.
I
knew you would decide that. By
yeah.
the way, Mike recommends you spray the little rollers on your garage door with WD40.
Okay. I don't know.
I recommend that.
Does
I don't
he,
know
though?
if Mike Witt does, but I recommend
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Keep
That
them
might.
lubricated.
Don't. I don't know.
You got to keep things
Yeah, I don't-
lubricated, John. All right, reaching in.
That's what. No, never mind. All right.
All right, I'll let you have the honors.
Okay, here we
reaching
go.
in, pulling out the winner of our Firehouse
go.
Doors
Right, there
gift
we are.
certificate.
This is the official.
Yeah. Open it up. Come on.
All right. Congratulations to Laura Schicker. Laura Schicker, you've won a preventative maintenance inspection package from Firehouse Doors, and we'll be in touch and let you know how you can take advantage of that. So again, congratulations to Laura Schicker, and thanks again to Firehouse Doors for being supporters here on Mike and John Got It Going On. All right, now we are giving a call to
Well, there was a time when we talked to
Julie Cribley
from
with,
Livingston Recycle, Recycle Livingston.
Recycle Livingston, and her husband answered.
And he went by the name Mr. Julie.
Mr. Julie.
So,
Hello, this is Julie.
hey,
Hi,
Julie.
Julie.
This is Mike and John. And Mike and John Got It Going On, the podcast. Remember us?
Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Yeah, we are recording, just so you're aware of that.
Of
Lawyers,
course you would.
consent, and
why wouldn't you record me?
right. Well, yeah.
Actually, we wanted to talk to Mr. Julie. No offense. But
Well, we can talk to both, but I mean, we were really calling for Mr. Julie. Is Mr. Julie available?
Well, unfortunately, Actually, no, I'm out of town because I saw Elton John in Grand Rapids.
What was he doing?
All right.
What was Elton doing?
Yeah.
What was he doing?
I saw Elvis in Kentucky.
So how was the show? We're talking to Julie then. All right, forget Mr. Julie. Let's talk to Mrs. Julie.
Oh, I'm like, it was phenomenal. It was really phenomenal. A great stage show. Lasted for over 3.5 hours. He just put on a phenomenal show.
You would expect nothing less.
Well, sometimes as our artists and our heroes get older, you go see them and you think, oh, dude, someone should have told you that you probably should stop doing this.
All right, it's a little close to home, Julie. Yeah. It's a little close to home.
There were some people that told us we should just not do this.
Like, you just don't. No, let it go, guys.
They were alive.
Let it go.
We're going to listen to you till you're really old. No worries there.
But not far from that.
So why didn't Mr. Julie come along?
Yeah.
Well, because concerts are just not his thing.
No.
Oh, okay.
Is he more a movie guy, sports guy, what?
Well, he loves movies.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, I suggested to him, I said, I think maybe we should offer to do movie reviews for him. Because after we saw the new Batman movie.
The Batman.
I thought, the Batman.
Yeah.
It was so good. I thought, man, somebody should be talking about this movie somewhere.
See, it's funny because every time I hear someone talk about the Batman, it goes from it was so good, it's the best to oh my god, it was a piece of garbage. I hated it.
Yeah.
I go for it. It's just so interesting how people have these different takes on it.
Yeah, some guy said that Catwoman was the hottest thing that ever happened.
Yeah, that was Mike Marino, by the way.
Some guy said that.
Yeah. But I'm thinking, since you're Mr. Julie is into movies but not into concerts, what you should have told him was, hey, we're going to go see Rocket Man,
right?
The movie, but live.
There you go.
Yeah.
I didn't even think of that.
Yeah, it was just
you guys should call me more often.
Right. Just little tips to trick your husband into doing things.
Exactly. Now that you mentioned that, did you leave him a to-do list while you're gone?
Yes, I did.
Yeah.
Do
you want to?
Of course I did.
Yeah.
You guys know better than that.
Right.
Maybe we should. Maybe that's where we should check in with him tomorrow and see if he got the to-do list done.
There you go. Somehow I must have missed that you were going to call this morning. Did you send me a tweet?
No,
this is totally random.
Is totally off the wall.
Yeah.
That's how we roll. This is your fault for giving us your number.
Yep.
All right. You should know better.
And you know what? We didn't clean up the studio here, so the number was just sitting here.
It was so. just know, if you want to block us, that's yeah.
I said, hey, there's a number. Hey, let's call this number.
I'm telling you, when you interviewed Liz from United Way about the Earth Day Challenge, he's like, did they mention my name? Oh my gosh, he was so excited.
Well, now we're talking all about it. When do you come back? By the way, just curious.
Oh, it's later this afternoon.
Oh, okay, because I didn't know when he had to get the honey list done.
Yeah, he's got it. I'll have to call him. I always have to call him on my way home and say, just so you know, I'll be home in an hour.
Because here's what happens when you get a honey-do list, and the wife's going to be out of town. You look at it, you give it, you in your mind, you give it a time. You go, that'll probably take about 2 hours. Okay, then you go, all right, when is she coming home? She's coming home at 5 o'clock on Thursday. I will start this at 3 o'clock on Thursday,
and
the rest of the time is mine.
Unless he forgets all about it, and
right.
You walk in the door and you're like, oh, you're home.
Oh, yeah. I was busy. It was crazy.
My wife doesn't give me to-do list because she knows it won't get done.
Right. My to-do list is like right.
Yeah.
My to-do list is put on pants today, please.
You missed that one.
Well, I'm glad we can't see that part.
Yeah. Well, let me tilt the camera down.
No.
Okay.
All right. Well, Julie, we're glad you enjoyed the Elton John show. Before we let you go, favorite song?
Border Song.
Oh, the Border Song.
Okay.
See, not exactly, the
not one of the big
hits.
hits. Yeah, but so what did you do that in did you do any finales? I mean, or.
Oh yeah, he came back out and did Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Yeah,
you kind of knew that was going to be his closer. I was actually really, really hoping for Madman Across the Water.
Right.
And I was impressed that he pulled songs off almost. It seemed like he pulled something off every one of his albums,
right?
Which is remarkable, because you don't always hear that. And he did pull some unknowns off each album, because he did Burn the Mission Down and some stuff. But see, I'm an older Elton John fan.
No, you're going back with that. Like
well, you're right. I mean, you mentioned Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and I remember I found a couple months ago in the big Walmart CD bin, $4.99 for the CDs, and you're kind of digging through there. And this is how old I am that I actually buy CDs. But
Nothing wrong with that.
And I found Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and the CD, which I hadn't heard as an album in years.
Well,
And
you used
I'm
to open with Funeral for a Friend.
Right, and
I was bleeding all the time.
I popped that in, and I was reminded how that is one of those albums that, from beginning to end, is a great.
Beginning to end,
yeah,
is phenomenal.
it is.
Yeah, he did Funeral for a Friend and Love Lies Bleeding in My Hand, and wonderful. The stage show that he put with that song was phenomenal. He really, really, it was. I was blown away. It was well worth going.
All right, well, good. All right, well, tell Mr. Julie we're sorry we missed him, and he's got to get those chores done before you get home.
Yeah.
So
bring him some elderberry wine.
Yeah.
There's your Elton John reference.
There you go. There's my
All right, Julie.
Well, it's always fun to talk with you. Have a great day, guys.
Yeah, you too.
You as well. Hey, we did our question on the Facebook page. You can pull that up, check out some of the answers. 20% of women say the best compliment they can receive is about this. Now, a lot of our answers went to the kids factor. Now, just because it's women does not mean they're moms.
Right.
Or that's what they thought the best compliment was. And we're only talking 1 in 5 that answer this question with this answer.
Right. And so some of the answers we got. I mean, do we want to give the answer first, or
go through a few of them because some of them were pretty good.
A lot of it had to do with kids.
Yeah.
So things like, "Hey, your kids are great." And how many times as a parent have you heard from a teacher, a neighbor, or somebody that go, "Oh, your son or daughter is so polite." And you're like, "Wait,
my kid?
My kid?"
Are you sure you're talking about my
kid? Okay,
yeah,
whatever.
Right. Yeah.
So a lot of her children, your kids are great. You've raised great kids. You're a kind person.
That's a nice compliment.
Yeah, so you have a good sense of humor. Their character, the color that they are wearing or their clothing. So
pretty close.
Yeah, I mean, you want
to. That was closest to our answer.
Intelligence or eyes.
Is that one answer?
Yeah, that was one. Intelligence or eyes.
You got nice eyes, but you're not the brightest ball. All right.
So, again, sense of humor, shoes, hair, but most of them had to revolve around kids.
Yeah.
Cooking, another one. Hair or shoes, Jeff DeHanens, who was our substitute teacher.
Yeah.
He said hair or shoes.
I think he's going down opening day tomorrow. But the answer was 20% of women said the best compliment they can receive was about her purse.
Right.
About her purse.
Suzanne was one of those who answered correctly.
Congratulations, Suzanne. You've won absolutely nothing.
No, you have not.
But bragging rights.
Well, you've won the bragging rights.
I mean, how many people answered this? And Suzanne was the one that nailed it.
Yeah, we had like more than 40 answers.
Nailed it.
So thanks for everyone for chipping in, and congratulations to Suzanne, who can know with
nice purse
confidence
Suzanne.
That she had the right answer and wins nothing.
You know what? Maybe she should send us a picture of her purse. And
Suzanne,
that way we can say,
right.
Nice purse.
You're right. Suzanne, send us a picture of your purse, and then we will give it a... You know what? We're going to start... Have you heard of Room Raider?
Room Raider?
Right.
No.
So, with Zoom and everything in the last couple of years, a big deal is, so when people do Zoom, of course, you see their house, you see their room or whatever. And there's a thing on Twitter that they rate your room, whatever your background is, if you have a good background, a bad background. Because some of the backgrounds, you're like, what the hell is that? Is that a pile of laundry?
It's kind of like before we put up the thing here, we had a hole in the wall.
If Room Raider would like to rate our room, that'd be great. No, that's okay. Anyway, we could do Purse Raider.
See what's in the purse?
Well, no, we would rate.
Rate the purse,
not rate it. Not rate it, no.
Because you might find some gum.
By the way, when it comes to my wife's purse, I stay away from it. When she tells me, hey, could you go in my purse and get my chapstick? I'm like, no. I will bring you the purse. Because I'm not going to spend 45 minutes digging in this thing that has every known conceivable device thing known to mankind put into this backpack. That I feel like I have to go diving to the bottom of the ocean.
If I were you, I would just not say anymore.
Why?
I'm
just saying.
My
wife knows. My wife knows. No, my wife knows about it. I'm like, no, here's your purse. I'm not getting it.
Since we're talking purse and money, you got to keep track of your money because when it comes to taxes, our friends at Fairchild, LaBelle and Rice CPAs are the ones to go to.
Smooth.
Was that good?
Smooth.
Yes, Mr. Moneybags over here. If you're looking for a firm that'll focus on your individual needs and always treat you like a client who matters. Look no further. Fairchild, LaBelle and Rice. Large enough to offer a full range of professional services, but small enough to give you the individual attention that you deserve. They'll thoroughly and conscientiously study your personal situation and tailor service to your specific needs. Call today, 517-231-5990. That's 517-231-5990.
Right. Want to remind folks, Walk for Warmth coming up May 14th, Oakland Livingston Human Service Agency, or OLSA. By the way, it is not OLSHA.
OLSA.
That is a little public service announcement. Yes. It's OLSA. Oakland Livingston Human Service Agency, holding their Walk for Warmth May 14th. We've got a walk team, and we want you to be part of the Mike and John walk team. You can do so by contributing to the team, and we've set a $1,000 fundraising goal. You can just text. It's super easy. Text Livingston 3 to 71777. Just Livingston 3 to 71777. And you can contribute to the Mike and John Walk team. Everyone who takes part in the team that joins us May 14th at the Old Heartland High School for the Livingston County Walk for Warmth, we will have some Mike and John swag for you.
We got swag? Of course we have swag. You can find it on the Mike and John podcast page. That's mikeandjohnpodcast.com.
That's right.
Click on merch. It's right near the search engine.
Right. And Spirit of Livingston set up our merch store, and we've been real happy to work with those folks over there, Danny and Nicole. You can give them a call if you have some work that you'd like done, 517-545-8831, or online, spiritoflivingston.com.
You know, as we were talking with Julie Cribley, the wife of Mr. Julie,
right?
She said that she put that to-do list together for Mr. Julie to take care of.
Right.
And I forgot this. My wife reminded me of this too. Women who earn more than their husbands still do more housework than their husbands.
Shut up.
So we're just lazy, good for nothing.
Shut down. Yes. Shut it down. Shut it down. Don't be giving them that. We all know that's true, but we don't want to say it out loud.
I just did say it out loud.
Now they're going to hold it over.
Now you know.
Now they told us.
Coming up tomorrow on the podcast, the legendary Bonnie Runyon will be joining us.
That's true.
And putting us in our place more than likely.
Well, of course. That's what Bonnie does best.
Yes,
that's the name of that segment. Bonnie does best.
We better write that down.
Bonnie knows best.
Bonnie does best.
She is the Harry S. Truman of Livingston County.
Yes, she is. She'll be joining us tomorrow. We're looking forward to that.
We'll also be talking with Rhonda Callahan from Torch 180. We'll find out what's happening at the Torch, and we'll give away our weekly lunch for two, so an opportunity to win that as well.
And they're on our Facebook page, or our web page.
Yeah. What's that address again, Mike?
I think it's mikeandjohnpodcast.com.
Oh. You know what else you can get there at mikeandjohnpodcast.com?
More podcasts?
Well, yes, actually you can. You can see all of our podcasts if you'd like to go back into the archive. And, that brings up an interesting thing before I get this. I've noticed that people are still watching podcasts from back in February.
Well, you got to get caught up on season one before we get to season two.
I mean, I just find that to be fascinating.
That's the thing.
Those numbers still go up.
Keep catching up.
Yeah, that's great.
If you have friends that haven't caught up, have them binge this weekend. It's going to be snowing and crappy.
Yeah.
So get that out of the way.
Right.
So you're caught up and you can talk about it at the drinking fountain.
Exactly. Or if you have trouble sleeping, just put on one of our podcasts.
To put you right out.
Right out the door you go.
Yeah, there was a couple that were snoozers.
Well,
we fell asleep.
Which you noticed. Yes, but again, at mikeandjohnpodcast.com, of course, all the latest news headlines. Will you fix that chair?
And, me and my old lady, of course, sitting in the shade, talking about the money we ain't made.
Right. So you get the merch store, you got latest headlines, of course, daily headlines that we're adding to mikeandjohnpodcast.com, trying to keep you updated on stories of Livingston County nature. Sometimes people think that stories that are happening in, say, Lansing or Detroit or Grand Rapids are local stories.
Mackinac City.
Guess what? They're not.
No, that's
what is happening here in Livingston County and the surrounding area, and that does not include Grand Rapids or Mackinac. Those are the stories that you're interested in. Go to mikeandjohnpodcast.com, and again, we have daily headlines that we update there.
Yeah, we got a news department that I'm working on getting better. But
yeah,
he's doing a pretty good job now.
Thank you.
All right, we'll feed him, and the news will keep coming in.
Food.
Hey, how's the cookie situation going?
There's still 3 cookies. You want to go check? You want to check? You can check.
We'll save that for the
Okay, there's still 3 cookies. How long till Lent's over? I should know
until
this.
Easter.
Yeah,
so a couple weeks.
A couple more weeks. Yeah. Those cookies are going to be so stale.
But we're going to eat them.
Yes,
Yeah,
we are. We're going to have a feast. 1.5 cookies
The Monday
each.
after Easter, we're
You know
going
what?
for it.
I think between now and Easter, I should have one more cookie. And then that way it'll be fair when we have to divide them up.
We don't have to cut that
Yeah.
one in half.
I'm doing that out of fairness.
You know what? You've been doing a good job with news. You can have that cookie.
Can I have
You're a
it?
good boy.
Go give me the cookie. You get the cookie.
Which box was it in?
It's in the Yellow Submarine lunchbox. Yeah. By the way, this is a good moment to remind you, Murphy's Family Auto, another supporter of the Mike and John Got It Going On podcast. You can call them today to schedule an appointment, 517-552-3040. Murphy's Family Auto, your car knows, murphysfamilyauto.com. Okay, and we just want to verify there are 3 Girl Scout cookies left. I'm going to take one. There are now 2 that on the day after Easter, the Monday after Easter, we will celebrate.
Yes, we will.
All right.
It's a good thing this thing seals nice and tight to keep them fresh.
Mm-hmm. We'll keep
Is it fresh?
the roaches out. Of course,
That's good.
the roaches probably all froze to death since my stupid furnace isn't working anymore.
We don't have to worry about the cookies.
Still waiting on this part.
What
What are they? Where's this part being made? I'm sorry, your part's being made in Ukraine. So it's going to be 73
be a
weeks
while.
before it gets here. I'm like, okay,
All right.
great, thanks.
Are we done today?
Your furnace, by the way, it's a crank start. That's great. Thanks. Appreciate it.
How's the cookie?
That's okay. I'm on a podcast now, so I got all kinds of extra money for heating and cooling. That's great. By the way,
Throwing it.
this is my dinner.
This
This is all I get today.
Save some for tomorrow.
That's all I get today.
All right, that's going to do it for this section of the podcast.
God, let's hope so.
We have our post.
We should have saved the
Post-show.
cookie for post-show.
Well, that's what I was trying to do, but you made me go get the cookies.
You should have
You
said.
know what? Post show's canceled for today. Catch up on season 1. Mike and John got it going on.
All right.
The podcast.
That's fair enough.
All right.
All right. Well, wait.
Oh yeah, I forgot. You got to get the music going.
Yeah.
This has been one of those days.
It has been.
Yeah. Oh, we didn't get the chair fixed.
No. But it sure smells like WD-40 in here.
Sure does. So, what'd you do today? It says
How's
don't
that for-
huff. It says don't. We forgot to read the danger label.
Yeah.
Caution is flammable.
Oh.
Better not put that. Good thing your igniter doesn't work.
Hey! That's not funny.
Not
That's
funny.
kind of funny. It's a little funny.
It's a wee bit funny, lad. We forgot the history. 2-cent history lesson.
Maybe that'll be the
Post
post-show.
show.
All right.
Post show's back on.
All right, sorry.
Post show's
So,
back on.
all right, for podcasters, sorry. You're going to have to watch the YouTube.
Yeah.
All right, all right, it's post-show. We're organized here.
You know, it was a WD-40. It really messed with my head.
We're basically overcome by fumes. All right, what do we got?
Today is April 7th. April 7th, it's Coffee Cake Day.
Oh.
Nothing like coffee cake.
You know, what's your favorite coffee cake?
It's
know.
like Sara Lee.
No.
It's not Entenmann's.
Oh, it's Entenmann's.
You gotta break out the Entenmann's.
You gotta get the Entenmann's.
It's No Housework Day. Mr. Julie gets the day off. Look at that.
Mr. Julie, still got to get that list done.
International Metric System Day. Remember back in the 70s when they were going to make everything metric here in the United States?
They tried.
And they didn't.
No, we're gonna teach Americans math, a whole new system of math, and America was like, "No, you're not.
No, you're not.
No, you're not.
We want it to be easier,
Oh no,
driven by tens and hundreds.
Right.
Hell no.
Hell no.
No.
This is America. We don't do anything easy here.
Why do that?
Pass the Fritos.
It's National Beer Day. What kind of beer you want with those Fritos?
With Fritos, I'd have Corona
Corona and Fritos.
with a lime.
It was on this day in 1933, since it's National Beer Day. This is why it is.
Right.
1933, Franklin Roosevelt took the first step toward ending prohibition, signed into law that would allow people to brew and sell beer as long as it remained below 4.0% alcohol.
Right.
So it was like near beer, wasn't it?
No,
3.2
4%.
is-
No,
yeah,
that was the
4%
end of
was okay.
Prohibition. That was the
Yeah.
end of Prohibition.
All right, so no more 3.2 beer.
It started with beer, and then they moved on
And they
to the
said,
good
okay,
stuff.
now you can hit the hard stuff.
You can stop making gin in your bathtubs
Yeah.
now.
13 years is the first time people could buy beer legally
Right.
for 13
They could get it medicinally. This is true,
Right.
by the way. During Prohibition, you could get medicinal beer.
Yes, beer breath.
You know, just like medicinal marijuana.
Sure.
You go to the doctor. Yeah, my rheumatiz. Well, here's your card. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Go get a 6-pack of Pabst. 1831.
Haven't I suffered enough?
1831 on this day, the first box of matches was sold. First box of matches. You don't really see matchboxes anymore.
You really don't.
No.
Especially, remember, you go to a restaurant or a bar or whatever.
Yeah.
And
We had a whole
want you to-
collection of.
yeah.
We still have from my in-laws had this. It was almost like an aquarium full of matchboxes.
You know, I still have from our wedding.
Yeah.
Not
Ours too.
our wedding.
Not no.
But from me and my wife's wedding.
Yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but anyway. We still have the matches
You're really
that we
not
gave
that
away. They had the, you get the
Yeah, it
name
says,
and the date on it or whatever.
Yeah, and that way you can remember your anniversary. That's why they made that shit. So the
You
guy,
only get swearing on the post show.
Hey, dude,
No
season
kids
one.
post show.
Season 2, where we will have no swearing.
Okay.
Sorry about that. 1927, employees at Bell Laboratories in New York City demonstrated the first television transmission.
Oh, wow.
A handful of viewers saw and heard Commerce Secretary Herbert Hoover. 1927.
Well, that's worth it to see a
Yeah.
Commerce Secretary.
Can't catch that in reruns.
Count me in.
Swiss chemist, 1943, Albert Hoffman, produced the world's first batch of LSD.
Yeah, he did.
1943.
Right.
Everything's psychedelic in 43. Supreme Court unanimously struck down laws in 1969 prohibiting private possession of obscene material. The judges said, yeah, you can have porn at your place.
Well,
That's what they said.
and I think one of the I can't remember which justice it was that said, but in the opinion, he said basically, I can't describe pornography, but I know it when I see it. And that was sort of
you could tell by his
like,
robe that he had seen it.
Hey-oh!
Jimmy Carter.
Sparky, get the drum roll.
Sparky's unemployed. 1978, U.S. President Jimmy Carter. You can't snort during the post show.
Sorry.
Jimmy Carter, 1978, announced plans to develop the neutron bomb.
Yeah.
Which
Not
would
the
kill-
neutron dance.
It would kill people, but leave buildings standing. The neutron bomb. Yeah, not the neutron
No,
dance.
not
the
to be
Pointer
confused.
Sisters
Yeah,
took care of
don't
that.
do that. Yes.
The Doobie Brothers.
Please, let's invent a bomb that just kills people, but not the buildings, because I think that just tells you,
You wanna leave
where
it
our
there?
priorities are at.
Not Carter's best moment. The Doobie Brothers, 1979, went to number 1 on the U.S. charts with Minute by Minute. The group's only U.S. chart topper.
Really?
Did you know that? Minute by Minute. One of the crappiest
Really?
Doobie Brothers songs was their only number
it's,
1.
It's not one of my favorites. I agree.
Minute
Yeah,
by
but
minute.
okay.
It sounds like a Muppets tune. Tommy Lee from Motley Crue was injured in 1990 performing a stunt during a concert where he fell 20 feet from a lighting rig.
Really?
I didn't know that.
Did he live?
Tommy Lee, I think so. I think he made a video around that time.
Oh, everything
And
seems to be
now,
working.
You know, one thing didn't break.
It's
So,
here, climb to the top of this.
I thought I saw they're doing
I'm sorry.
a documentary on the making of that video.
Well, there's a series. I think it's on. I don't know if it's on Netflix or Hulu,
Hulu.
but it's Pam and Tommy,
It's fun to say.
and it's about the whole making of the video thing. But it's like a docudrama series.
She kept saying, "Are you ready?" He said, "Can't you tell?"
Oh, I'm ready.
Well, let me check with the
What
judge.
they have some sort of Supreme Court justice? Hey-o!
2015, finally, in 2015, the original manuscript of Don McLean's American Pie sold for $1.2 million.
Really?
16-page draft had been expected to fetch about $1.5 million at Christie's sales. McLean said writing the song was a mystical trip into his past. So,
Okay.
wow, $1.2 million for American Pie. It was 16 pages, but he cut it down to like 8 minutes.
Yeah.
That's how about how long the song
So
was.
who bought it? What the hell did they do with
A
it?
guy with $1.2 million.
Okay, this is one of those
Not
things
sure.
where I hear these auctions and I'm like, you have way too much money. Whereas opposed to me, I'd be buying Rush memorabilia with my
This is a drumstick that I got. from
Geddy Lee
Daddy.
drank out of this cup? I'll give you $1 million.
All right, that's our
That's
show for today.
enough.
With the 2 cent history
All
lesson.
right, goodbye.
I think we learned something.
No, we didn't learn nothing.